So, hey there, Jeff Pirishot here. I'm just getting ready to go down to the bowling center. I've got some tournaments coming up, so I need some practice. I've got a couple of archetypes. One's an archetype hybrid. I've got a stealth pearl, and I've also got the new track Cypher. So we're going to take this down to the lanes and give it its first test run and see how it is. If you don't know, the Cypher has the same core as one of the best balls from the late 1990s, the track Synergy. So this was one of the favorite balls of a lot of people. It was on TV a lot. Steve Hoskins and Dave D'Entremont threw this ball on TV a whole lot. So the Cypher has the same core. So we're going to try it out and see if it's similar to that. It's a solid ball. The Synergy was a pearl. So this should be kind of a benchmarky type reaction, but it does have the HK22 base in the cover stock. So it's probably going to be a very responsive benchmark ball, which is something you don't see a lot. So we're going to take it down to the lanes. We're going to try it out. I've also got a track sensor and a track stealth. So we're going to throw it against those, see what the Cypher does compared to the other two benchmarky type balls in the tracks line. And we're going to try it out and see how it is. So let's all go down the lanes. We're going to finish loading the car and I'll see you there. This is going to be a two-part video. This video, part one, will show the differences in the Cypher's reaction for a stroker, a tweener, and a cranker. And part two, which will be uploaded soon, will show the ball comparisons between the Cypher, the sensor solid, and the stealth. So let's start out looking at the stroker style. I'm just going to be playing up the boards, not a lot of rev rate. Also, this isn't the usual house shot I'm bowling on. This is the PBA's Harry Smith oil pattern. It's 41 feet long with a 2.2 to 1 oil ratio. So this qualifies as a sport bowling pattern. My initial reaction after throwing the Cypher up the boards is that I got a lot more back-end flip than I thought I would. Track is marketing this ball as a benchmark style reaction, but I was surprised to find more of an angular back end than I'm used to from benchmark balls. I think this will be great for lower rev players. Bowlers who don't get a lot on the ball can often struggle with pin carry, and as a result, they don't use a lot of benchmark type equipment. I can see the Cypher being a bit of a revelation for this style of bowler. It gives them a ball that creates some traction and oil, but still saves energy for the back end flip they need to carry the corner pins out. The higher RG, 2.54, medium-high differential, 0.047, and the HK22 base cover stock help with this immensely. Is this the next evolution of benchmark balls? Equipment you can use to read and evaluate lane conditions and adjustments, but not so smooth that you can't strike enough. Next up, the tweeners. Bowlers who do hook it a bit, but don't get all over the ball and consider themselves in between the strokers and the crankers or two-handers. This is my normal style, with a rev rate around 425 RPM. For this type of bowler, I found that I was able to get more length than I expected, again likely due to the higher RG. Similar to the stroker style, for the tweener I found that the back-end reaction was much more responsive than other benchmark balls that I generally use. Small note, stay tuned to this channel for part 2 of this video where I compare the Cypher to the Stealth Solid and the Sensor Solid. You can click the subscribe button for a reminder notification in case you think you'll forget. Or if you just want to support my channel. It's free. Other balls that I use as benchmark balls are similarly smooth, with two of my favorites being the Hammer NV Tour and the Columbia 300 CUDA Power Core Solid. This Cypher will be a great complement to those, giving me more length and back-end reaction for those times when I need the predictability of a benchmark ball, but need a little more hitting power than the NV Tour or CUDA give me. That's why I think this will make a great arsenal addition for tweeners. I did find that I needed to be a little better with my speed control, probably due to this being a sport pattern and not a house shot. The higher RG means that the ball will rev up a bit later, so if I overthrow it a bit, which I tend to do here and there, the ball might not pick up soon enough. This is where surface adjustments come in, and for bowlers that throw it faster, I'd recommend going down from the box 2000 surface to 1500 or even 1000 just to give you more traction. And last but not least, the crankers. For this high rev style, I saw things a bit differently. Bowlers with high rev rates have no problem generating power, so for a benchmark ball, they often need to double up on control. This is where the Cypher fits into their game differently than the strokers or the tweeners. For crankers, I'd recommend not getting the Cypher as a benchmark ball. It goes a bit too long and is a bit too responsive to fit into that category for that style. I'd probably stay with super smooth options like the Sensor Solid, the Ebonite GB5, or the Hammer Envy Tour. Your style can already get benchmark balls to carry just fine. You just need predictability, and those balls will give you that. For you, I'd recommend the Cypher be your first transition ball. The first ball you go to after your benchmark ball stops working. Either you have to cover too many boards for it, and it's not driving through the pins well enough as the oil starts to carry down. For those situations, the Cypher will be money. It's a ball that will start you on your way to using the super responsive, high risk, high reward, pearls, hybrids, etc. But you can use it when the lanes aren't ready for that type of equipment yet. Now, that's not to say you can't use the Cypher as a benchmark ball, but you might have to be a bit more creative with layouts and surface prep. And even after all that, it still probably won't be as good as a true benchmark ball. But for your style, the Cypher will shine as your first transition ball, or as your first ball out of the bag on longer, medium to low volume lane conditions, where typical benchmark balls hook early and bail. It's these situations where you'll be able to make the best use of the higher RG and more responsive HK22 base cover stock. Thanks everyone for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks as usual to my sponsors, Track Bowling and Genesis Bowling, and to Strikers Lanes here in Sunrise, Florida for being a great host. Let me know what you thought of this review in the comments below, and again, stay tuned for part 2 when we'll compare the Cypher to the Stealth and the Sensor.